Are you ready? Sorry, I was reading. I thought you were doing something on the computer.
2-3 minutes ago.
All right. Welcome back to the podcast. What is... Okay.
Jeez.
Restart.
Okay, we haven't done this. Catherine hasn't been here for a while, so...
No. Okay, we're ready? Restart. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Unbroken Arrows. As always, I'm Catherine.
And I'm Greg, and we are together for the first time in quite some time in terms of recording a podcast. So I guess I'll say welcome back, Catherine,
Thank you.
all of the travels and things that have been going on the last few weeks. But first and foremost, your mom and I recorded a podcast last week, and we talked a little bit about our trip to Deadwood to celebrate your birthday, and it was a good weekend.
It was a good weekend.
And
Pretty anticlimactic, unmemorable.
yeah, there really wasn't much going on.
No, nothing really happened.
I mean, 21st birthday, that was pretty exciting, but that's probably the high point, wasn't it?
Yeah. There's this little thing that happened. I got engaged.
Oh, what? And you didn't tell us?
He's joking. He knew. He was there.
Yes.
Well, he wasn't there when it happened.
No,
but...
I was not. No.
Yeah.
Just Nate. So tell us a little bit about your engagement. You are now officially engaged to Nate.
Isn't that a little scary?
No, not at all.
No, I'm super excited. He did really good. He planned it all out. He had a photographer there, which I wanted. The ring is gorgeous. He surprised me.
Well, Nate's a fine young man.
We like him.
And yeah, I'm glad you love him, I guess.
I do love him.
A little bit more than like, I hope, but no, that was pretty exciting. I helped in the part of the pre-engagement to Nate wanted to ask your mom her permission to marry you, and I helped in the surprise of that. And that
Mom was very confused.
Yes, she was, but that's okay. That was fun too. But anyway, so congratulations.
Thank you.
There's no date set yet or anything like that. And,
Nope.
And plans are in their infancy, but we'll probably keep listeners in tune to that. But again, congratulations to you and Nate, and looking forward to being able to see you on your journey.
Oh, thanks.
Well, other than that, now I suppose we should just quit, because after that, anything we talk about is like, just a
I know. Just kind of
downer.
like can't really top that. That was pretty good. Surprise. We had a really fun weekend after that because he did it before everyone got there. So then we got to celebrate the birthday and the engagement all together.
And I did throw him under the bus last week about the riding the UTV trails being a retired person thing. So he sent me. He must have listened to it. He sent me a text. He said, "I'll go to my grave saying that's a retired person's." And it may be.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
But
He's like, yeah, I think this is a retired person thing.
Yeah, but I reminded him that he, at some point in time in his life, will also be a retired person. So
That is true.
So
That is true.
he'll have to learn to enjoy it at some point in time.
I also got to go to the Bears-Vikings game.
Yeah.
Which was a disappointment for me, but we still had a really good time.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Now let's talk about the game a little bit.
Yeah.
What was it, 30 to
There was
12
okay, hold
Vikings?
up.
By the way,
like I said,
I am the Vikings fan. She is the Bears fan.
Like I said, there were flags on every play of the Bears. Now, I'm not saying that they weren't warranted. It was usually a good call. But they didn't make any calls on the Vikings.
Oh, that's not true.
Barely any.
Do you want me to fact check that and find out how many penalties?
We should find out the, per team.
Okay.
There was not many.
That's an easy stat.
Or maybe I just zoned them out because I was annoyed.
I think that might have been part of it.
I don't think there's nearly as many, though.
Well, some of them are, I felt bad for the guy that didn't, the lineman that got his glory to go in and play fullback and forgot to check in, so they got the touchdown called back. But they scored on that drive, though, anyway, didn't they?
Field goal.
Field goal, yeah. Oops, sorry. Salt in the wound.
They only had one touchdown.
Well, listen, the Bears have won a Super Bowl.
They have.
In recent history. The Vikings have not.
That's
They've
true.
been there 4 times and lost 4 times. And as a lifelong Viking fan, a little frustrating. So
We just need to go back to the glory days of, Mike Ditka, the fridge. Is it refrigerator or the fridge?
both refrigerator.
Same thing.
William the Refrigerator Perry, I think, is and then the fridge was his.
Or even like Devin Hester was good, Brian Urlacher. We just need to get not Caleb Williams.
I don't know. I think he's okay.
He might get better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want, of all the teams I could have picked, because South Dakota doesn't have a team, so you get free reign. You can pick whoever you want.
That's the way Nebraska is.
And
too.
I got the Bears. I love the Bears.
Well, you could be like
it's a love-hate relationship.
You could be like your sister. And,
No, I'm not a bandwagon.
Bandwagon fan.
That's the problem is I'm loyal. I'm loyal to a fault.
Okay.
Bears are stuck with me until I die.
Okay. Well, again, that's the fun of being a fan, because sometimes you get to live on the top of the wave, and sometimes you are in the trough.
Yeah.
So right now, at least they're not the worst in the league. They got the first pick last year, right?
Yeah, and then they traded it. Okay, I got it confused. It was in 2023 they traded the first round draft pick to the Panthers in return for more, and also the 2024 first round draft pick. So then in 2024 they picked Caleb Williams as their first round,
And that's
which was a bad pick.
Well,
He's not first round material.
number 1, wasn't he? Number 1.
Yeah,
So yeah.
he was first.
Right.
I don't know. Listen, I'm not that well versed in football.
Well, it's just interesting that I think the Panthers and the Bears are both eliminated from the playoffs already this year. So, all this draft day trading for first picks and things haven't helped them a whole lot.
No.
Okay, so another fact check here, young lady.
Yeah.
Penalties.
Uh-oh.
Guess who had more penalties overall for the game?
The Vikings.
Yeah. And but the Bears had more penalty yards. So the Vikings had 10 penalties for 56 yards, and the Bears had 9 for 93.
That makes sense. That's a lot of yards.
It is a lot of yards. So since we sat down and visited, not a whole lot has been going on for either of us in the outdoor world.
No, not
You're
at all.
finishing up finals.
Mm-hmm.
So school is taking your time.
Just finished. I just took my last test.
Wow. And how does it feel?
I don't know. There's a couple tests that I haven't got scores back on yet, so now I have to think about those until they come back.
A little nervous, are you?
Yeah.
Oh. What's the saying? C's earn degrees, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping D's get degrees.
Ooh.
I don't know. There's business finance was not my friend.
Well, good luck with that. I hope that you get good news as the year of 2024 comes to an end with your grades.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. And then next semester is going to start off well. I just know it for you. So what is then in line? You and your siblings usually do a late season pheasant hunt. Is that something that's on the docket?
We do have a pheasant hunt coming up it's the weekend right after Christmas. Some guys are coming from Colorado. They're elk guides out in Colorado, so we're going to take them out pheasant hunting and hopefully do a little networking.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can get on the wait list for a Colorado elk hunt in a few years.
Nice.
But we'll probably do 1 or 2 in January as well, like the very last weekend.
Well, maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to go on one of those.
There you go.
I haven't had the availability, I guess, maybe, to go on a pheasant hunt yet this year, but I would like to. So we'll see if we can do that. But other than that, anything planned in January? Because most of the seasons end, right?
Say
January
ice
31st.
fishing will pick up.
Yeah.
Still a little goose hunting into February
Okay.
for our county anyways, which Nate just went on a really good goose hunt, probably the best goose hunt he's ever been on. I was driving home from the Bears game at the time, so I didn't get to go on that, but they basically shot their limit in 30 minutes.
And that was yesterday?
Yep.
Yeah, yesterday with a little bit snowy and cold. Not a whole lot of wind. Well,
So hopefully we get on another goose hunt.
hopefully some goose breast pastrami out of that. He makes a pretty good pastrami.
We'll see.
Or are you going to make jerky?
If I don't have to make jerky, I won't. That's such a long process.
It is.
And then the whole house smells like goose jerky.
Yeah, not a...
We'll see, though. I
Not
know
a bad
Trey wants
alternative.
more goose
Yeah,
jerky.
he does. Hey, my big news, I don't even know if you knew this, but your grandpa asked if I wanted to go ice fishing, and I'm going to go with him and his crew, his posse, up to the Lake of the Woods in February.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
I think it will be, yeah. So, hopefully, my luck, warmest winter in decades.
Right, you're not going to be able to ice fish.
No ice fishing on Lake of the Woods this year. Well, I've read a few things where they are ice fishing already in Minnesota and north of here even they're ice fishing, so that's a good thing. Well, I know that we are right now from today, we're 1 week away from Christmas Day, so we wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and I guess, will have another guest on here after you and I are finished up talking. Sandy Richter from the South Dakota Game, Fish, and Parks will be on, and she's going to talk about the different community programs that are going to be going on, because this time of year, sometimes people get a little caught up in all the holiday festivities and planning and all of that kind of stuff, and they don't know that there are opportunities to get out and do things. And so that's why I wanted Sandy to come on and talk about those kinds of things. I know that one of the big things around here, at the state parks, some of them have last day walks and hikes, and some have first day walks and hikes. So I know for sure that's something that she's probably going to talk about. But anything else, Catherine, as you're sitting there picking your nails, looking about as bored as you could be as maybe a teenager?
No,
but you're 21 now.
I got my nails done before we got engaged, and now it's like they're peeling off. And as a guy who's never had nail polish on, you won't know how annoying it is to have nails that are peeling.
And I hope I don't ever know.
So I don't get my nails done very often.
Okay, well, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Bit of information.
Now all you men know.
Yep. Okay, so.
Yeah, we're going to make some cookies, so hopefully we don't burn the house down. We'll let you know, though.
You know, I was reminiscing yesterday about the first cookie that you made for me, Catherine. And I think I was in verdigris, and then you sent a picture of it to me.
I've made you 2 cookies.
Well, both of them had something to do with the...
One said Go Bears.
Yeah.
One said Vikings suck.
Yeah. So, and as of...
Christmas cookies.
As of Monday's game, guess what? Go Vikes.
But
Bears suck.
As a team, as a community, the Bears community is better.
Okay, so what are you basing that on?
I mean, like, have you ever seen the Saturday Night Live?
The Bears.
Yeah, right there. That's like top tier comedy.
Yeah.
You guys don't have anything like that.
Well, that's because we're not anything to laugh at.
The Ditka mustache.
Yeah.
You know how many Ditka mustaches I saw at a Vikings game?
2, 3?
No, definitely more than that. There was a whole group of like 6 people that had them. Plus, there was a guy that actually like had the Ditka mustache.
Okay.
There's a community there that Vikings fans would never understand.
Okay. As we start the game, it's like, Skol!
Yeah,
That's not community at all. Skol!
Do you guys have like a song? Because the Bears have a song.
Every pro team has a song.
Not as good of a song. It's like Chicago as a whole. Have you heard the Cubs song? Go Cubs go. Go Cubs go.
No.
Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. It's just Chicago.
Now.
Minus all of the murders.
See, now, I'm actually, Chicago's in my blood.
Yeah.
My grandfather was originally from Chicago. See, so I've got roots in Chicago. And I like Chicago. So.
There you go.
But I just don't like the Bears.
Yeah, but you know how much cooler a bear is than a Viking? I'm reaching now.
Yeah, you are. It's like, okay. Yeah, I think maybe we probably should digress at this point to the point of stopping. But,
All right, guys.
yeah,
Glad you were here for that.
Yeah, as we come to the end of the year, we're trying to make sure that we stay on top of at least publishing an episode, and make sure you stay on long enough to listen to Sandy and what she has to say.
It's not me saying the whole time, promise.
So we will go from there. But anyway, congratulations to both you and Nate, and looking forward to, like I said, seeing your journey. It's going to be exciting.
I appreciate that.
So, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, everybody.
Okay, we'll sign off.
All right. Bye, guys. Love you all.
Well, I'd like to welcome to the Unbroken Arrows podcast Sandy Richter. And Sandy Richter is the community program coordinator for the South Dakota Game, Fish, and Parks. And what I wanted to have Sandy talk about today are the different programs that are available through the South Dakota Game, Fish, and Parks, and maybe a little bit even more specifically at the outdoor campus. So, Sandy, welcome to the Unbroken Arrows podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Well, this is the time of year that I often think that there are some people that start to think more about staying indoors during this time of year. And there are considerations, safety being one of them if it's snowy or snow-packed and it's slick. But I also want people to understand that this is the time of year that there are a lot of activities that are available for them to take part in. And the outdoors is really no better place to beat the winter doldrums. So, Sandy, what types of things are going on at the outdoor campus or just in general with the South Dakota Game, Fish, and Parks, say the remainder of 2024 and, into January in 2025?
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's already the end of the year, isn't it?
That's right.
Well, we've got some fun stuff coming up this last couple weeks of December. We've got some classes going on, learning how to do some outdoor photography. We are going to be, looking at my program guide here, we have a class that's going to be talking about camping in the wintertime and maybe some survival methods. We even have some indoor classes that will be getting you maybe ready for the upcoming year. We have a class that we're calling Angling to Your Advantage, and just learning about structure in the water and where to know where to go, where the best fishing is going to be. And then we're going to be doing a meat preservation class where we're going to be pressure cooker canning meat. So another way to preserve your game that you harvested this fall that can be shelf stable and not take up so much freezer space. So those are a couple things that we have coming up. A lot of the state parks have what they call is a first day hike, and it happens on January 1st, and it's just a way to encourage you to get outside. And we are at the outdoor campus are kind of taking our own little spin on that, and we are having a last day hike, in that we're going to have a hike on Tuesday, December 31st, on New Year's Eve, and have some fun activities out on the trails here at the park in Sertoma Park.
That's nice. The thing that I really like to promote, and I consider the South Dakota Game, Fish, and Parks a friend of the podcast, and I hope that they consider us to be friends of theirs. But there are so many different activities that are going on at the outdoor campus, so many activities going on at the state parks, that people just really need to take the time to research them, because there's such a variety of programs that you're going to find something that you like to do. Where can somebody go on the website or telephone numbers or whatever the case might be, Sandy? Where can people go to find this information?
Sure. So if you go to the Game, Fish, and Parks website, which is gfp.sd that will put you at the Game Fish and Parks website. And if you click on the education link and then click program registration, that will give you a calendar of all of the events that will be coming up in the state parks and the outdoor campuses. We just recently switched over to this registration system. It's also the same system that our residents buy their hunting and fishing licenses from and can get their park stickers from. We're all on one registration system now, so you can do a lot of different things on that site. And so all of our classes are going to be listed on that page, on the program registration page, and it'll pop right up, even our classes that you don't have to register for. So that's the neat thing about state parks and the outdoor campus. We have some classes that we do request that you do registration, and that just helps us make sure that we have enough supplies and equipment for a certain program. But we also have a number of classes that are listed on that page as well that are open house activities, meaning that you can come at any time during a certain time period to enjoy those activities, whether that be an open house snowshoeing or open house ice fishing program. There's a number of those activities as well.
Okay. Now, the other thing that I want to plug and say, I guess, a word of encouragement for people that might be listening, especially in the Sioux Falls area. But the most important thing maybe is that listeners that would be actually any place, any part of our country, because every state has a Department of Natural Resources or a Game and Parks type of organization that oversees the parks and recreation. And some city municipalities also have parks and recreation departments. But go to those types of websites like Sandy just talked about in your area, because there are invariably activities that you can take part of in wherever you live. But one of the things I want to mention, and please chime in at any point in time you want with this, Sandy, but I would encourage people that have a little bit of extra time, like me, to look into volunteering at organizations that are interested in getting people involved with outdoor activities. This last summer, I registered and went through volunteer training for the outdoor campus, and I'm actually going to be volunteering tomorrow at the outdoor campus for an activity, a fish dissection activity. So
fantastic.
And I'm looking forward to that. As the old biology teacher, I'm really looking forward to that. So, but I'm going to venture to guess that there probably aren't many times volunteers get turned away, Sandy.
Correct.
Is the Game and Parks and the outdoor campus, if somebody would be interested to volunteer, I would say that you're looking for volunteers because the jobs vary. It's not necessarily helping with the fish dissection. There's different jobs like filling the bird feeders and at the registration and the information desk. So, and I know Paige is the volunteer coordinator, and I hope to have her on the program sometime too. But what can you say about the need for volunteers?
So my favorite thing with our volunteers is getting to know them and then getting to learn maybe what their passions are and what drives them and maybe why they wanted to volunteer at the campus. And a lot of times sometimes people just want to help out. We have had people who have moved to the area that are new to the area, and this is a way for them to get to know other people in the area, so it could be a social event for you too. I like to visit with the volunteers and just kind of find out what some of their strengths are and maybe what they are hoping that we can provide for them. So for instance, you being a former biology teacher, maybe you want to just help with programs, but maybe you also have an interest in maybe leading a type of program, and we would have you work with either myself or some of our interns to put a program together that could be delivered to the public as well, or maybe to our volunteers as a little presentation as well. So whatever we can do to make the volunteers feel the most valued, that we are using their skill set that they have or helping develop it for them. We want to make sure that we're doing that.
Well, I think it's an excellent opportunity, and I've said it numerous times that the outdoor campus is like a hidden gem. It's tucked into the kind of the center of Sioux Falls, and there's hiking trails, and there's the pond that when you have an ice fishing type event during the wintertime, that's where you go fishing. In the summertime, you go fishing, kayaking, the different types of activities that include archery, and you could probably add more to those things than me. I've helped out with a stream or a water ecology program. You will find something that is of interest to you if you just take the time to look through the different offerings at the outdoor campus.
I look back on the time years ago when I first moved to this area, and I signed up to be a volunteer just because I wanted to get more involved in the outdoors and just learn from others. And this is where I learned how to cook in a Dutch oven. This is where I learned how to kayak, cross-country ski. And so it's been kind of, well, definitely a full circle for me as I worked from being a volunteer on up into a full-time staff position. So definitely a very rewarding position.
You're also involved with the Casting for Recovery program in South Dakota.
I am. I'm the program coordinator for the South Dakota chapter of Casting for Recovery. We are just getting started, going into our third year now, and it's going very well. We're really excited about that. Casting for Recovery is a fly fishing retreat for survivors of breast cancer. And so we just got our impact report from this year's retreat, and of our 13 participants, they ranged in ages between 26 and 76 years old. That was pretty impressive. None of them had done any fly fishing before, and so we had a new audience for fly fishing and learning about the joys of being outside and in nature and the healing aspects of that, and then also the physical therapy of casting a fly rod and how that can be beneficial after some surgeries, after there's been significant healing. So yeah, that's a really neat program as well, and we are supplied with lots of volunteers for that as well, that help with the guiding. We need fly fishing guides for our participants on Sunday morning, and then any female that's interested in helping with being at the retreat and helping with organizing that and being on that planning committee is welcome as well.
Now, with that, Sandy, do you have a date already set for 2025?
We do.
Okay.
Our 2025 retreat is going to be September 12th through the 14th. We are going to be on the west side of the state this year. We're going to be at Outlaw Ranch, which is right outside of Custer, South Dakota.
Okay.
This is a free retreat for the participants. They just have to find a way to get there. They can apply for the retreat. It's a lottery type drawing. If you go to the Casting for Recovery webpage, and there's an application for you to apply for South Dakota. The deadline to apply will be July 3rd.
Okay. That gives people plenty of time to, think that through. And if I remember right, talking to the people from the Nebraska Casting for Recovery group, they said that don't wait till the last minute because that application process does take a little bit longer than what one might expect.
It does. So we have that deadline as July 3rd, and then our retreat is in September. But this gives our staff time to do the drawing, and then it gives our participant coordinators time to reach out to the candidates that have been chosen to make sure that they understand what's going to be happening at the retreat, and to make sure that they are healthy enough to come. We're very insistent on having a doctor's referral or having doctor's approval, signing off on them being able to come to the retreat, and then just getting to know the participants and creating that relationship ahead of time to make sure that we can meet all of their needs and to make sure that it's a successful and fun time for them.
So if you're a woman that is a survivor at any stage of your journey with breast
Correct.
cancer. Go to the website to look for that information. Or if you know of somebody that is a friend or a family member, talk to them about that, because I had the honor and the privilege of being a guest at the Nebraska Casting for Recovery retreat, and to a person that I talked to, it was a wonderful experience. And
Great.
the networking part of that is such that they meet 13 or 14 new friends,
Right.
and they have those people to share their the ups and downs of that journey. So, well, Sandy, thank you. And as we were talking, you mentioned the first day hikes and the last day hike at the outdoor campus. You also mentioned cross country skiing, and if we got some snow, that would be an excellent winter activity. And then the other thing was, the first time that I ever snowshoed was out at Good Earth State Park, and they have snowshoes out there that you can check out, and
They do.
so you can try those things out. But there's a plethora of things to do in our area and areas everywhere.
Our mantra here is, if you have cabin fever, get out of the cabin.
There you go.
If you are struggling with having those winter blues, just get outside, get some sunshine. It may be cold, but if you're dressed properly, it can be a really enjoyable time of year.
Enjoyable and invigorating, and just a wonderful, wonderful time of year to enjoy the outdoors.
We do have some January stuff that's coming up. There's ice fishing and cross-country skiing and snowshoeing if we have snow, but, you can still do rabbit hunting. We're going to be doing a virtual class where we have one of our partners from Pheasants Forever, Isaac Full, and then our upland biologist, Alex Solom. They're going to be giving a late season pheasant hunting virtual program. And so participants can attend that as well. And there's a Zoom link on our website as well. So.
Well, I've heard that the late season pheasant hunt sometimes it's cold, but it's also a lot less pressure on the birds, and there's a lot fewer people out in the field. So those can be enjoyable hunts as well.
Right. So especially if the birds are hungry.
That's right.
It's easier to find them.
They're moving then.
Right.
Well, thank you, Sandy. Appreciate the time, and you have a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you. You too, Greg. Thanks for reaching out. Have a good day.
You as well. As we sign off today, we want to remind our listeners that our immediate family has experienced cancer-related deaths as a result of leukemia, prostate, and ovarian cancer. And it would be safe to say that every one of us has had our lives impacted by cancer in some way. A healthy diet and exercise through outdoor activities has the potential to improve a person's physical and mental health. At any age, if you're active, stay active. If you are not as active as you would like to be, it is not too late to start now as a way to improve your physical and mental health. If you or someone you know is thinking of suicide or in need of crisis intervention, call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by dialing 988. Additionally, there are 3 ways for veterans and their loved ones to receive confidential crisis support, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Contact the Veterans Crisis Line, dial 988, then press 1 to be connected to a Veterans Crisis Line responder. If you would rather, you can chat online at veteranscrisisline.net/chat, or you can text 838-255. You have to remember that the world is a better place with you in it. To all our listeners, take some time to get outside, enjoy the outdoors, and experience its healing powers. With that, on behalf of Catherine and me, we would like to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. Until next time.